echoes of what we saw quite a lot of in 2008, emergency cuts from central banks around the world. It is only the Fed thus far in terms of major central banks, but there was a G7 telephone conference earlier on today, and a lot of people thought there might be kind of coordinated action. But it's worth just taking a step back and kind of remembering, this is very unusual. It is extremely unusual to have central banks doing emergency interest rate cuts, and whether or not the Bank of England gets involved, it just underlines how concerned finance ministers and central bankers are about the state of the global economy and the risks that coronavirus poses. Because let's not forget, we haven't yet had any hard economic data in the US or indeed in the UK pointing towards the impact of this. It's way too early for that, given the nature of how quickly it's spreading and how quickly it might be taking an effect, and the fact that that's only seemed to have taken place in the last few weeks. So it is kind of a preemptive move. As for whether markets liked it, well, the Dow Jones rose a little bit after the interest rate cut. A lot of people had been expecting it, but actually it kind of dropped down a little bit afterwards. One person who was cheered by the decision by the Federal Reserve is someone who's been railing against them for quite some time. The President, Donald Trump, he tweeted just after that decision that he was rather happy about that. In fact, this is what he said. He said the Federal Reserve is cutting, but must further ease, in other words, cut more, and most importantly, come into line with other countries and competitors. We are not playing on a level playing field, not fair to USA. It's finally time for the Federal Reserve to lead more easing and cutting.